class is about the most simple rule of thumbs for guard passing. Yeah, you know what a rule of thumb is? Yes, it's a super simple rule that helps you to take one decision, a quick decision in that moment. Maybe it's not always the best decision ever, yeah, but it gives you an immediate direction, especially when the action starts to become a little bit complicated. I need one okay. Because we know each other. So look at this. Stand up, please. Stand up, please. Applause for the. Thank you. The first super basic rule of thumb, yeah, is that if you are passing this side, you always want to push his knees to the other side. You have to explain why, or it's self-understandable. If I go this direction, I push his knee that direction. So this is the most basic thing, in my opinion, and keep it in mind for the next hours. Okay? You can start now with one knee in between. If his leg is there, we say combat. I am in combat base. I can be in headquarters, or I can be in leg breath position. So far, so good. Yeah, depends where is his leg. So, combat base, at headquarters, leg breath. From here, the rule is easy. On one side of Flavio, I will have my head and the knee that is passing. On the other side, I will always have an underhook. Okay, so if I'm starting from here, I'm going to have the knee there. It means that my head goes there, and on this side, I need an underhook. And I pass. Same position. If I'm going here with the knee, now I will have my head there, underhook here, and I'm passing this side. Okay? And it's the same if I am in headquarters, for example. If my knee goes there, my head goes there, and on the other side, I will shoot an underhook. Okay? Quarters, maybe this knee goes there, so my head goes there, thank you, and the underhook goes on that side. Yes? Do it. Practice a bit. Go. The thing with the head is just that I'm using my head to keep him watching away from the way I'm passing. Yeah? If I pass with my head here, it can keep watching in my direction. And Christian explained you like 2 hours ago that if it's looking in your direction, now control becomes a tiny bit more complicated. Yeah? So you want that. Same if I go here. And now I'm passing like this. You see, it's watching in my direction, and you can start to frame, escape, and then he comes in and things and stuff happens all the time. So I go a bit more up, and then like this. Yeah? Because the first thing we say is, if I'm passing this direction, I want to turn him there. So there's less frame, it's more uncomfortable for him, and so on. So far, so good. And everybody goes, yes, Francesco. Yes. Now, you go for your pass, whatever it is. You can start, we can keep going from combat base, headquarter, whatever. And the knees keep being there, annoying the hell out of you. Okay? So, if from here, as soon as the knees are in between, if from here I overcommit for the underhook, I'll never get this underhook because it's extremely shallow and you will pummel inside again all the time. And then again, things start to happen. As soon as knees start to come inside, for example like this, before I go, I want to push the knee behind my armpit. I'm always pummeling my way with my arms around his knees. So that before I go, his knees are behind my armpit. In combat base, the knee that most commonly come in is this. Good. I push him away, I pummel my arm in. And now I keep going. Maybe I'm doing a leg drag, and now his knee is creating this trouble. Yeah? I cannot go, I pummel the knee behind my armpit. Now I finish the press. See, it's always the same. From wherever you are, from whichever of the three positions you start to pass. Knee in between and in the pocket, not under the armpit, because you create too much space and he will pummel inside before you can go. Yeah, you're too far for the underhook now, so pummel the arm so that the leg goes past your armpit, and now you start to go. Okay? So you're going to do pretty much the same exercise. You can start from combat base, from a quarter, or from the leg drag. And you keep your hand in his pocket. Yeah? You don't go for the armpit. They are too far. If you go for the armpit, he will pummel again for the underhook before you can go chest to chest. It will happen all the time, yeah, 9 times out of 10. So you keep the hand in the pocket, the knees come in, good. You push him away and you pummel the arm so that his knees go behind your armpit. And now you go following always the same rule. On one direction, your knee and the head. On the opposite, on one side, your knee and the head. On the opposite side, the underhook. Is it clear, or you want to see it again? Is it clear?
Could you show please again the sleeve start, the
Yes. Always one in between. Completely outside, combat base, headquarters, leg drag. And then always pummel that leg past your armpit, and now I can go. See? Quarter, I start to press. That is in between. Which direction do I push my opponent? See? So I pummel my arm. Now his knee is past my armpit, and now I go. Yeah? Once his knees are past my armpit, my hand goes from the pocket to the underhook. Okay? And your head on the opposite side, so you keep it turned away from you. Clear?
Yes.
Wanna try?
Yes, Francesco.
There was this one.
Again, the first thing, push his knee sideways. Yeah? No, not just sideways, away from you. So, yeah. Let's say I'm here. Yeah? From here, for example, especially if he starts to use the knee to create this frame where I cannot go anymore, I cannot really, you see, it's complicated to pummel this unless I go like this. I push him there. It's the first thing I told you, yeah? And it stays true for 1 hour. Push his knee to the other side. Yeah? So everything is stuck here, hands in the pocket, because the underhooks are too far. I push him to the other side, pummel. I passed already here, pretty much. You see? Yes, no? Yes. Same. From here, his knees come in. How many times you get stuck here? Yeah? I cannot keep going from here. So, hands in the pocket. Yeah? The underhook is too far. If I shoot for an underhook from here, it's just going to pummel again all the time. I push his knee away, I pummel, and now I shoot. I'm always doing exactly the same stuff, yeah? From wherever position. So, do you want to try again if I drill it a bit more? Yeah? That person can start to give you a bit of resistance, but we're not going competition mode. Yeah? The goal is for me to understand the steps that I'm using to get past your the frame with your knees. Yeah? So clearly, if it goes like, you will never pass my guard in your life, it's complicated to let's see. Can I keep passing here? No. But I can push him there, then I pummel, and then I shoot, keeping always the same rule. If the knee passes one side, the other side must have the underhook. Yes?
Yes.
Hey, I don't do that thing like, yeah, that we will rock you thing. So go, practice.
So you were here yesterday, right? You went to the camp, right? So yesterday was the first day or the day before?
The problems are pretty much always the same. Yeah, but right now it's more about details because you start to go through this. I have the hands in the pocket and I keep my hands in his pocket. When there is the gi, you can also grab. Yeah? The pants in the pocket, not the gi that gets too much slack. The pants in the pocket, and you stay there. Okay. Let's say like this. From here, I have to push his knee in that direction before doing anything else. Yeah? Look, super simple rule of thumb for every guard pass ever. Whatever guard is having is sitting, or is on one side, or is flat. Okay? So if he's sitting, you put him flat. If he's on one side, you put him flat. If he's flat and he feels and he looks too comfortable being flat, you sit him. You ruin his position always like this. Yeah? Whatever grip and stuff and make any position. Yeah? Okay, he's on one side, I make him flat, and now I start everything else. Maybe he's doing, I don't know, spider, and he's a bit more flat. Imagine I'm grabbing here, I sit in, everything is fluid, and now I start to go. You're always moving between these three positions, yeah? And then you go for your pass. But you don't move him pulling him with your arms, pulling and pushing with your arms, because that's arm wrestling, yeah? You use your body to move it because you're lazy, otherwise you wouldn't do jiu-jitsu, you would do CrossFit. Yeah? So, hands in the pocket. I have to move his knees there, not like this. Arm versus leg. I'm walking in that direction. My whole body now is moving his body. Yeah? Keep the hands here. I move there, pummel, pass. Now the knee is past my armpit, and and the pass is finished. As soon as his knees are past here, the pass is done. And when you are pummeling, you are not going like this, because this leg will also pummel with you, and keep inserting, and then you go into this loop. You keep the hand here, and you're just pummeling this, which makes even more important the fact that you're always pushing his knee that side. Because from here, I don't have a good angle for pummel. So if you want to pummel here, you're forced to do something like this. And now this leg starts to come in between. Yeah? You push it there, and you pummel it down without leaving the pocket. You stay here. You click into this part of the hip. If there is the gi, you grip the hip, and you just go like this. And then you finish the pass. Okay? Now, about the pass. Sometimes myself, sometimes my head will be here, sometimes the head will be very high. Both positions are okay. In between, it can get a bit complicated for frames and ease pummeling and whatever else. a good rule of thumb, again, is that if you have the underhook, if you have to fight too much for the underhook, then this is where you want to be. Yeah. If for whatever reason you are passing and there is not underhook at all, and maybe his hands is also there, when I'm passing and my head stays very, very high. Why? If I pass and I go here, it starts to move to the back, right? So, now, the more my head is low, the easier it is for him to open a bit his elbow, oops, and go there. Because the space that he has to travel, thank you, to go to my back is minimal. But if my head is very high, now he has to go a long way to get to the back, right? Go to the back. The way I have to cover, to keep my back protected from his movement, is minimal instead. Because we are moving on two circles, but I'm occupying the inner circle. Yeah? So he has to go there, and everything I have to do to keep my back protected is this. So if you are passing and your hand is stuck in the pocket, you keep your head very, very high, because the hip connection will be there anyway. Again, you have to focus more, all of you, sorry, on moving his legs to the other side. Okay? Start from wherever you want to start. It starts to be annoying. I don't pummel anything here. I keep my hand in his pocket. I want to move his knees there, because he's on one side. I want to make him flat. Do I do it like this? No. It's arm versus legs. It's inconvenient. My whole body push that direction. I pummel without taking my hands out of his pocket, and then the pass is pretty much finished. Yeah? Want to try a bit more? Yes. Thank you. Go.
No, that guy's got my team. You guys are wondering where he trains. Yeah, I'm here. I'm winning.
Details. Yes, again, when you pummel your arm in, it's not here, because this knee keeps going there. You pummel and you keep your elbow outside. Yeah? Now that knee is behind my armpit, and it's a lot more complicated for him to pummel in. Especially those flexible people looking at you, Raul, where are you? You know, where it looks like this part of the leg can just go like 360 degrees like this and keep coming in. If your elbow is in, that part of the leg will keep popping up in front of you, yeah, and annoying you. So there. Yeah? And then you go. Now we start from here. I cannot go directly for another, right? Way too far. There are too many pieces of him between my elbow and his under. But right now, it's also hard to go for the pocket because the legs are in between. So you're going to connect to the knee. From here, I'm not pushing with my shoulders, like this. Yeah? I call it shoulder-driven pass. When you go around like this. That's not what you want to do, because you create too much space here, and again, the legs will do a lot of stuff, because you are leaving the legs space to do stuff. What you want to do is to connect the hip. So as soon as I have the knees, I'm pushing my hip forward, not the leg. There's no space now here. Yes? Pushing your hip forward, you'll be looking for one of the positions that we talked about. You will try to enter a combat base, a headquarter, or the leg track. It's not too much. 3 seems like too much. It's not too much. It's this leg here, here, or here. Yeah? Combat base, headquarter, leg track. So I get to his knee, I connect my hip, and I start to push his legs there. Normally like this, I find it very easy to enter in a leg drag. But I'm not using my arm against his leg to drag the leg there. If body to push him away, oops, the leg is there. Good, and in the pocket. What should I do now? Pummel, pass that. And from here the pass is done. Yeah? There's not so much resistance anymore. Yeah? Okay. 2 volunteers. Raise your hand. 1 volunteer, another volunteer, the other volunteer. See? Demonstrate. Dun, dun.
Oh!
No, step back, step back. Too easy to start from there. Yes, start, exactly. Knee, now you start to go. Yeah, good. Okay.
What's
No,
the
it's
task?
the task is, okay, sorry. Yeah? Because I want him to give me a bit of resistance, yeah? So I don't just jump somewhere over there. Push, hip, drive the knees away. Push, connect the hip, and drive the knees on the other, yes, see? Leg drag suddenly. Push, go forward with the hip. And now push the knee always to the other side, yeah? The first thing that we say. Okay? Hands in the pocket, and then you go for the pummel, and you finish the pass. So your hands are going knee, you push with the hip, you push his knees away, now you're going for the pocket. His knees will most probably come inside again, you pummel your hands, keep pushing his knee away, and once you pummel the arms and his knees are past your armpit, the pass is pretty much done. Yeah?
Yes, Francesco.
What do you do now?
That.
Yeah. The first thing I said at the beginning of the class, and I told you, you have to do this as the first thing for the rest of 1 hour, is push his knees away. Everything else comes after, okay? So we are playing here, I connect to the knee, and the first thing I do is
Push his knees.
I push the knee away. Now I can go with the hip, and suddenly I'm in a leg drag, yeah? Or sometimes something like this, yeah? And so on and so on. And when you go with this step, look, you can see every other pass from here, yeah? You know, floating pass, when you go, you look that foot, for example, you can move with this, yeah? So I push his knees away, I connect, hands in the pocket, pummel, right? Now, I feel that if I go this direction, it still has a hook, but because I'm high, I can search for this, and now I move. But these tiny things come after you can fix all the other steps. Yeah, these are tiny adjustments for when he starts to have a random hook here and there. So you can, yeah, good. Resistance here. You push there. Suddenly the arm is pumped in. Now I can start to go. You can go here to finish the pass. Yeah? But you are climbing. You go to the knee first, then to the pocket. Now you pummel. Now you can go to the underhook. You cannot miss one step, because otherwise the knee will keep popping in. The other arm will keep pummeling inside, and so on and so on. We still have 5 minutes, yeah? Bonus, my favorite pass to be anointed, to lose friends. Connect to the knees. The first thing I do, push aside, connect to the hip. Now I'm in the leg drag. Okay? I'm gonna put this knee there. Can you turn? There. Yeah? You see that shoulder? I want to push this shoulder down to the left. So, under the armpit, underhook, head, I like to connect my hands like this, butterfly grip. Now I go with both my knees here, and I turn my legs. He likes it. Yeah. Keep your feet up, roll past the first knee. And if you put this feet down, you will get that. You see? The hooks. So look at this. You stay here, try to hook now. Now I'm on the mount, start working this on. You lose friends normally like this, especially when you stay there. Side, here. Knee to the mat, knees together, open. And you wait for the moment where you hear, roll, pass the knee, and mount. And this arm starts to be isolated. Yeah. You see, I'm still doing all the steps that I showed you since the beginning. I'm just doing them in a more annoying way. So you have 2 or 3 minutes for this, and then maybe a super quick picture before next class.